Hi YouTube, welcome. My name is Ade. This is part 2 of my Chevalier 6x12 surface grinder rebuild. I'm an absolute novice at making movies, videos, so please bear with me. This is a close copy of a Boyer and Schultz 6x12 surface grinder, so perhaps it will be useful for any of you folks that has one of those. I plan to take it apart and clean it and reassemble it and perhaps repaint it. If you want to go back and view part 1 where we started with the project, please do so. Thank you. Let's carry on.
Back to handheld. So I removed the, what you call it, the saddle. And this looks certainly better. I can still see some of the crescent moon scraping, or whatever they call it, scraping. Some gouging in the, what is that? This the Z direction. What's the rule? Stefan will know. The direction of the spindle is always the Z direction. If I no, the X, the Y direction. I don't know. Stefan will correct me, I'm sure. But this looks reasonably good, except for the, as I said, the gouge marks. I haven't cleaned this off. This is the first time I've removed the saddle to see what's happening underneath. And yeah, for 45 years, I hope it's good enough. I hope it's good enough. Back to the cleaning. Oh yes, this is many odd years worth of grime and some old insect skeletons. As I said, this machine had spent a considerable amount of time outside in the elements with hopefully just a tarp over it. It did have a tarp when I went to have a look, but I cannot vouch that it did have a tarp all the time. But yeah, it's this at least does not look too bad, and I would assume this should be better than the left-right direction of the table, if that's still the X direction. Because there's less movement happening in this direction than the left to right reverse. Carry on. And the opposite side of what I've just shown you of the saddle, again, it well, I don't know, you tell me, doesn't look that bad. The nut still seems in good nick. It has, as I said, an oiler system on it, as I guess all surface grinders do. I haven't cleaned this up, so you see it as I'm seeing it right now. Please let me know what you think. Is this $600 wisely spent, or is it alright? Or should I get rid of it? Should I find the next buyer that'll give me $600 for it? Those birds are hardy-dove, birds of South Africa, very noisy bird. The reason why they are making such a terrible sound is because they are afraid of heights. I guess these two bolts are used to align the saddle perpendicular to the movement of the axis, I presume. This should clean up nicely. There's a spring in it. I guess that's to put some tension on this pin if you want to lock the table. Don't know. Again, this looks like an imperial thread, as metric threads of something this small has a finer pitch. So I presume they are imperial threads. I like to keep the screws in. I'll take them out again when I clean up here, but I tend to lose things if I don't put them back. Rats. I even lose them when I'm trying to put them back. Yes, I did drop one on the floor. I will retrieve that just there. I seem to drop two on the floor. Find that just now.
One eternity later.
as I showed that this degreaser seems quite potent, so it seems to take the paint off. I just want to protect the paint by putting some car polish on it. I know it sounds daft, but I will sleep better if I know I have attempted to erase the this degreaser in eating away from the paint. So I'm just putting a bit of car polish on it. I should have started this when I was much younger. See, that's the rail that guides it onto the z-axis. Another reason why I didn't want to remove this guide bar, can you see that there's half an inch of play on this side of this flat surface, and there's more than an inch on this side, so I'm sure getting that realigned is going to be a challenge, specifically to somebody with my capabilities. So I would rather leave it alone. These are the Euler lines, and they seem to be extremely hard to source. They are not quarter inch or imperial. It's a 8mm by 1mm pitch compression fitting, and even me coming from a metric country, I can't find metric compression fittings. They are all imperial. I can get any amount of a quarter inch fittings, but nowhere M8 by 1mm. I can get M10s, which is slightly bigger than that, but M8s, well, I couldn't find it. I broke a T-piece, so this is a 4-way or a 6-way, equal 6-way, and I have an equal 3-way that I actually broke by over tightening the nut, and so I still have to find a solution for it. For now I'm going to JB weld it and see if that solves the problem. It's not a lot of pressure, it's a very simple oiler, full oiler or single stage oiler. So I don't think the pressures are ridiculously high. I hope the JB weld lasts. Just trying to get most of this degreaser out of these nooks and crannies. And no, I'm not going to polish this side with car polish. I'll just do the smooth sides on the other side. This I'll just wash away the degreaser gently between the piping and leave the rest well enough. This machine has certainly not had a refurb. I can still see some of the blue paint inside the oilways from 45 years ago. Look at the quality of this washer. Smooth edges so that it cleans nice. Maybe I'm making a big thing of it, but in my country this is not readily available. If you want a washer, you normally get a stamped one from the subcontinent somewhere, but this is also from the subcontinent, but it's 40 years old, and I guess they did it so that it cleans easier. There's no sharp edges. Look how clever this is. They it was made in Taiwan, but still attention to detail. This is for the base, where the base mounts onto the where the physical machine mounts onto the base. It's two cupped washers, male and female, I guess, and so that you can actually have these things self-leveling wherever it tells the level point, it will level itself. Quite ingenious, and I wouldn't have thought that a product from the East would have that, but I'm glad it does. A casualty, I broke this hydraulic T. This mounts here, and then this that probably mounts this way around, and then from the oiler it goes into the right hand side, and then one part of the from the oiler leaves towards the saddle, and the other one goes to the top of the spindle tower, the spindle mount, and then it will then flow down from there. But I broke it when I over tightened it. I broke this part off, so I'm going to JB weld it and see if I can make it work. I cannot find a replacement equal T. It is a really odd sized metric, not odd but metric, M8 by 1mm thread. The compression fitting, I just can't find it nowhere, not in my country. So before you can mount the base back onto the stand, you have to add the oiler lines, and as I mentioned, I broke this oiler line. It's a pewter or a aluminium powdered mold of a T-piece, T-piece that I can't find in this country. It's 8mm by 1mm thread compression fittings. I cannot find those metric fittings in South Africa. So what I did is I machined a cup for the broken fitting out of aluminium, and then I epoxied it in with JB weld, and I will just hope that it works. But this needs to be fitted before I can put the base onto the stand. So let's hope this keeps on working. Now let's add the base to the stand.
One eternity later.
Back in the workshop, it's time for reassembly. I've painted the top of the base, just repaired all the damage and painted it. Just the top of the base. I'll do the rest at a later stage if I can find the right color. So I had to do it with the color that I could find. I'm just oiling the ways with a mixture of oil and WD-40, and we'll continue with the assembly of the saddle on top of the base.
Okay, I forgot to put the second give in. There are two gips. The one gip is slotted like this, and the other gip has a slot on the bottom, and there are two tapered gips, and the one has a screw fits into a set screw here on this side that will adjust the gip size, and this one has a groove there that fits into a key on the base. So now it should get easier. Copious amount of whey oil. 1, 2, 3. And I have to lift it up so that the now that won't fit. Remove the gip, then place it, and then I will try and slide the gip in from this side if I can. Okay, so I didn't do it correctly. I should have, the gip that had a slot set screw, I should have removed that and installed it from there, from this side. So I should have removed this gibbon, slid this gibbon from that side. But I did get it on without much pains. Okay, that is the saddle on. So how does the lubrication work? Oil comes in here. There is a one-shot oiler on the right hand side. It goes through the base. It then gets presented. It comes out in 4 places. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 spots on this way, and 4 spots, 1, 2, 3, 4 spots on this way. I believe it's these 3 spots, these 4 spots. So 4 spots on that way and 4 spots on this way, and then the oil will flow down this V and into three ports at the bottom, and that will lubricate the Z slide in 2 pots, and on these 2 pots it will lubricate the Z spots, the Z spots, the Z pots, and this pot here will oil the lead screw guide, because that is what keeps the table parallel to the spindle. So simple, one set of oil comes in, flows out of here into the ways and down onto these bottom ways. There's no separate oilers for these bottom ways. So they put a dowel pin in here, but they were very close to the edge of the sprocket, and it sort of damaged the sprocket a bit. But it'll work. So how will it work? I will put it through from this side. I first need to find out which one of which way the tapered pin goes in. So it seems like the tapered pin goes that way around. So it is so it needs to go through. There's a bearing inside and needle bearing inside, which I will quickly spray with WD-40. As a matter of fact, there's two tapered bearings. shaft goes through, then a washer, then a spring, then on one side of the tapered bearing, tapered bearing, one side of the bearing, thrust bearing, other side of the thrust bearing, the key, the bearing, and then I need to find a tapered pin. Tapered pin in. Tapered pin is in. Seems good. And then for good measure, the key gets held in with the washer. Okay. Did it again. That's why people hate thrust tapered pins. Never know which way it's supposed to go. So that's the hand wheel assembly done, and then there's a, so you were supposed to pull, that's why it's spring loaded, you're supposed to pull the hand wheel back and they're able to lock the hand wheel, but at this moment there's no brass, it's metal on metal, and I would like to put a brass plug in between the two faces so that it's not just a metal on metal connection there. Yeah, looks good. Next. As I said, I had this hydraulic line redone. It had perished here. A slightly thinner piping that was on the original, but I'm not too sure if I would have found the original thickness piping in my country. So it really just installs in on that side, and it will float with the saddle. It now mounts this way and it will just float with the saddle. That's why it's flexible. Obviously I don't have this much travel in reality. It's a 6x12, so I only have about 6-inch travel, and it's probably no more than from there to around about there, I believe. Time to install the tower section. I have this tubing which takes the oil from the one-shot oiler that sits here, and it delivers it to the top of the tower onto the slides for the spindle, where the spindle mounts on, and it will then oil all those ways. It will drip down onto the stand, and there's a hole in the stand, as I mentioned, that the oil will then flow into, and then there is a container that you reach from the inside of the stand to actually empty that oil container once it's filled up. So I'm going to install the tower now. It's got two, again, tapered pins that goes through the top of the tower, through the tower into the stand or the base, in order to align it. And I want to do that now, so that I had to install this tubing because it actually mounts to the T. The one-shot oilers has a T at the bottom of the base, and this is then tied to that. So I'm worried that this is going to get to harm, so I want to replace the splitter. I want to put a tower on quickly. Okay, that seems correct. Just need to get the other dowel pin, if I can find it. Found it, dropped it, picked it up. So that's the dowel pins done. And the tubing, found it looked different. The routing of the tubing was different to what I expected. Sorry. This time the tubing, it has a simple channel clamp, or a U clamp, to just hold this aluminium line in place. Get clamper. And another one here. Not showing you, it's just a simple little pipe clamp that, or a pipe, yeah, clamp that holds the clamp, secures the clamp. Now I feel much better because that oil line really bothered me. Next one. Gasoline or petrol and WD-40 mixture. Just want to show you the quality of the, will it focus? I don't think I'll be able to show you, but the quality of the knurling is amazing. It's very fine on this cap screw. I said a lot of things about it being an Asian or a sub-continent product, but I must say the attention to detail certainly was not lacking. I don't know if they copied a known brand. I don't know if the Boyer and Schultz was the original for the 6x12 surface grinder, but this looks very much like a copy of a Boyer and Schultz. Or the Boyer and Schultz is a copy of this. We will never know. I still don't understand the difference why it's called a Falcon. I don't know if Chevalier had a range called the Falcon range, and this is the Falcon range, like you had a Ford Falcon, and this is the Chevalier Falcon range of surface grinders. It's a 6x12 range. Starting to look like a surface grinder again after quite some time. Okay, so let's tie this and I'll be back. So what I'm going to do now is something that I have no idea if it's going to work, but I'm going to try in any case. So I have WD-40 in a bottle, and I'm going to put some WD-40 into the port for the oiler, because I want to try and blow things out this way to clean the port. So I'm going to try and do it with WD-40. I have no idea how it's going to work. And then I have butane gas, and I'm going to put a cover over the ports so that I don't spray things into my eyes. And then I'm going to put some butane and see if it, well, there's some dirt coming out there, and this seems to be quite clean. So I don't know. I think it worked. It's not that dirty. And butane gas came into the furthest ports, so there should be 8 ports. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ports. That should now be open. Let's do it once more. Sorry, I'm not showing you the business end, but it's a simple trick of close the holes. Well, close the holes, put some WD-40 into the oiler port, and blow some butane gas into it. These two seems to be quite quick, so I'm going to try and close these ones. I'm going to close these ports somehow. And now it seems to have blown out. Now it seems to have blown out on these ones some more. Well, I'm happy with that. Put it in your arsenal for next time. WD-40 to give it some oil. Butane gas. I guess you could have just used air, but I guess the butane gas has some cleaning properties by itself. That's it.
Well, folks, that is it eventually for this episode. Very long-winded, I know. I tried to blast through some of the cleaning processes, but I wanted to add context at the times that I've learned things and that I think it could be of help. I kept on referring to the notion that products from the East is subpar. And you know what? I was wrong. At least in this case, I was wrong. The product is well built, there is attention to detail. If there were any corners that were cut, at least it's now smoother and it's easier to clean. And ultimately, it makes it affordable for hobbyists like me. And frankly, if it wasn't for products from the East, I would not have a single machine in my shop. Please like and subscribe, and especially if you leave comments. Look out for part 3, where I will continue doing reassembly and some more cleaning, I'm afraid, but perhaps we can make some sparks at the end of the next episode. Go well.